Hello and welcome back to the show. I'm going to be giving draft grades on every single team in our Friends Fantasy Football League. So prepare yourselves for some heavy criticism on every single pick that you decided to take. We're going to go over Team Beecher right now, and then later we're going to go to Jordy's team, see what kind of grade they get. So let's just jump into it. Team Beecher, we'll go first here. He picked, his draft position was 12, okay? 12, so we get to the 12th and 13th pick. He decided to go with two wide receivers here, Tyreek Hill and DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, I really like this idea, picking these two receivers. I think it's very smart. These guys are going to be probably some of the highest scoring receivers in the league, and he got two of them right off the bat. He could have went with a running back here, and honestly, I kind of wanted him to because I really wanted one of these guys on my squad. Anyway, so he got really good. I think that's a really good start. Really smart, too, because everyone else is going running back, so nice little divergence. Number 3 pick, he went with Melvin Gordon on Denver. Again, a strong running back. A lot of the running backs were taken at this point anyway. So for running back 1, I think is pretty decent. I don't know how they're going to utilize him. He's definitely going to get majority of the shares with Philip Lindsay right behind him and Royce Freeman somehow getting some of the carries, I guess they imagine. It's actually kind of funny. Royce Freeman is actually the pass catching back for this team. He's actually a better pass catcher than Philip Lindsay, yet somehow Philip Lindsay fills that role. Not sure how that works, but whatever. And then he comes back around the 4th pick. It picks Raheem Mostert, one of the best running offenses under Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco team. And he's got the starter. I think he's 28 years old. Raheem Mostert, actually, scratch that. I'm not sure how old the guy is. He's getting older, though. I think he's an excellent pick. He did amazing last year. Obviously, in the playoffs against the Packers, he just destroyed them, ran like 200 yards or something. This is such a good team. The only problem is I'm afraid with how Kyle Shanahan runs his running backs. He kind of does some with a little bit of Tevin Coleman in a little bit, and then he's got I think Jerick McKinnon's healthy now, so he might be using him a little bit too. So either way, I think it's such a good running system that Raheem Mostert, being the starter that he is, he's going to do very well. But I just have a feeling a few games here and there, he might not get all the carries that he deserves. All right. His next pick, Julian Edelman for New England. Now, great. This is his 3rd receiver. All right. It's Julian Edelman. He's going to be throwing with Cam Newton throwing to him. I like it. Bill Belichick team. Julian Edelman, we know he's a proven awesome, good hands. I think this is a very solid pick. People are underestimating New England. I think there's going to be still a very strong team this year. They're still going to be in contention, just like they always are. Then Terry McLaurin. So he picked a 4th receiver. 4 receivers by the 6th pick. And this is Terry McLaurin for Washington. Now, their offense is atrocious. Probably the worst offense. Maybe you could argue the Jaguars are pretty bad too. This is a bad system here. I don't really like this pick, to be honest with you, especially at 7th. This is his 6th pick. He took Derek McLaurin. He's a good receiver. I think he'll get some balls here and there. He could be really good. But again, this is his 4th receiver. He's already got his receivers pretty much established. This is kind of just a guy to fill in. Then he picked the Jets receiver in the 7th round, Jamison Crowder. Again, Jets offense, not a big fan of it. I really don't want any players on this team, but Jamison Crowder, I think, will still get a lot of receptions, and being at a half-point PPR, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll be a decent pick. Again, this is 5th receiver now, so he's got 5 receivers, 2 running backs up to this point. So I'm curious to where he decides to go next. And it looks like Sonny Michel. Now, I don't like to touch New England's running backs, primarily because Bill Belichick kind of rotates them. Some guys will have really big games, and then the next week barely get used. I think that's intentional, and I think that's very smart. Sonny Michel is very talented. I think he was from Georgia, just like my boy Nick Chubb. So I think he's pretty good, especially for a 3rd running back. Not bad. Like I said, he went very receiver heavy, and I think his receivers are well established in that department. As far as my team, mostly just running backs, and maybe he'll trade me for DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know. Beecher, if you're listening, I'll think about it. Austin Hooper for the tight end. This is to Cleveland. Now Cleveland is gonna ball out like crazy. I've said this already times. I think Baker Mayfield may even be the MVP of the league. I know I've said it's crazy. I don't know, man. It's possible. But there's so many miles to field already. I think Nick Chubb is gonna be basically killing it for most of the yards and the touchdowns. You got OBJ and Jarvis Landry, just elite receivers. Now Austin Hooper, he's gonna get some. He's gonna get some for sure. I like this pick a lot. I just don't know how much. I really don't really know. But you got a tight end and a good offense. Really can't go wrong there. I really like this pick. And he got him in the 9th round too. Not bad. Then he went with Latavius Murray. I think he's like 30 or 31 as well. He's playing for the Saints. I think this is a great pick too because he can very well be a starting running back for the Saints. I know Alvin Kamara's there, but Alvin Kamara has that back injury right now, and I don't know how serious that is. But you can get a few weeks out of Latavius Murray, and if Kamara does get hurt, I mean, you got a very viable starter there. A good, for New Orleans. So, and I think just week to week, he might be even startable as well. He might even get touchdowns more so than Kamara. I'm not sure how they're going to use him. I like this pick, though. Again, this is his 4th running back. Not bad. And then 11th pick, Chris Thompson. I love this pick, and I'm not sure how this guy made it so far along. So we got Chris Thompson on the Jaguars. Now, John Gruden on the team now. Obviously, he was with Washington before. They also utilized Chris Thompson very effectively. And it's no surprise that John Gruden probably went out and got Chris Thompson again because he wants to use him. He probably has a good idea for how he wants to use this guy and implement him. I think he's going to be used, pass catching back. He's going to be there to get some passes, and who knows where their running back situation is going right now with Divine Zigbo, whatever, is being the starter now. Raquel Armstead has COVID right now. He's kind of out, I think, or he's quarantined, whatever. So who knows, but I really like this pick. I think Chris Thompson will have a role in the Jaguars offense, even though that offense is trash. They're still going to score, obviously. Then his quarterback, Carson Wentz. Now, I'm worried about this offensive line. I don't know how much protection he's going to be. I think Carson Wentz has always been kind of an overrated quarterback, in my opinion. But he does score a lot. He gets a lot of points. So, a decent quarterback in the 12th round. 13th round, Brashad Perriman for the Jets. Apparently, he really likes these Jets receivers. Again, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fan of Sam Darnold either. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of a waste pick, but we'll see. And then he picks another quarterback, Cam Newton. Now, I really like this pick. I think Cam Newton has so much potential here. He could be MVP of the league as well. So I'm really looking forward to see how Cam Newton and Bill Belichick, how they kind of utilize him. I think they've been probably coming up with strategies all offseason, and I'm really excited to see what they do here. I actually took him in another league. I'm very excited about Cam Newton this year and the New England team. Just because Bill Belichick, he's my favorite coach. I mean, he's the best coach of all time. I think we can all agree on that, right? Very excited to see what he does. And then his kicker, Young-Hoo Koo for Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to ball out. I know I say ball out a lot, but I like that term. It's fun. I think he's a young kicker. I think he's pretty good. I think this team's going to score a lot, so he's going to get a lot of opportunities. I love it. I love the pick there. It's a good kicker. Kickers don't really matter. Would I have took it in the 15th round? Probably not. I would like the kickers don't matter that much to me. I would have taken a defense before the kicker for sure. I think defense matters a little bit more. But anyway. And then Hunter Renfrow for the Raiders. He could be fine. I'm not really sure of their receiving situation, I'll be honest. Tyrell Williams is hurt. I know they got Henry Ruggs. I think they took another receiver. TJ Hamler, is he on the team? I don't know. They took another receiver. I'm not really sure. Is it KJ Hamler? I don't know, guys. And then the last pick, the Buccaneers defense, which very good defense. They can stop the run. Okay, remember that throughout this year. They can stop the run. They're very effective. One of the best defenses at stopping the run. And that could be very valuable. The secondary, I actually don't know too much about. But again, it's his last pick and it's his defense. So, We'll see. I think his team is very, very good, actually. I think he has a lot of depth, even at the running back position. I think he made a lot of good picks here and a lot of good moves, especially with his wide receivers. I think it was really smart having those two, Tyreek Hill and Hopkins, who can easily both put up 20 points each on a week to week basis. Very strong team. I might give this an A. I might say this team might be the most dangerous team. That's bold. I'm gonna take a look at all the other teams, but that's what I'm saying as of right now. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the Air Jordys. Okay, here we go. This is Tommy's team. For those of you that don't remember, his first pick was Davante Adams. Again, everyone else is going to running back. He saw Davante Adams and he decided to bite. And I love this pick. I think Davante Adams is one of the most talented receivers with one of the most talented quarterbacks. Okay, I am not biased at all, by the way. I really like this guy. I think he might be the high-scoring receiver this year. I mean, there's a lot of competition, obviously. But look, his next pick came right back to him. He took Julio Jones, which, again, could be, if he just gets more touchdowns, this guy could be just incredible. He could be the Antonio Brown. He can get 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's going to be on another level points-wise, and very excited to see that. So two strong receivers. Everybody else is going running back. I'm kind of just curious to see how he does with running backs here. Just because if you don't get one in the first or second round, it's kind of slim pickings as the later rounds here. So let's see so round 3, he chose to go with Jonathan Taylor with Indianapolis Colts. Now, for round 3, I think this is really early to take a rookie. One that might not be starting for a while for the team. Now, is he talented? Yes. Jonathan Taylor can do it all. He's big. He can catch the ball. He's going to lead. Most likely lead this backfield. And he's going to be a dominant at it. Now, I've said this before. The Colts offensive line is on another level this year. They're probably the top 5 offensive lines this year. He's got a lot of protection, a lot of good pass blockers. If he becomes a starter and he's getting 20 carries a game, if they do that, I don't know, maybe even if he gets 15 carries a game, he's going to score a lot. I just don't know when that'll be, and rookies are very risky picks. But this is a very good position for him to be in, and it's also his number 1 running back. Then his second is Le'Veon Bell. I do not like this pick. I'm guessing every other running back in the world was taken at this time, so he felt like he needed Bell. We know Bell was very talented in Pittsburgh, okay, but that was a wholly different system. Pittsburgh's running backs just dominate. You could see even when he left, James Conner was just getting dozens of points. It was almost more effective, honestly, and he was just his backup. And even when he got hurt, I think Benny Snell or whoever was behind him ended up getting a boatload of points. Okay, so that's the Pittsburgh team. You know, that's their run system. They utilize like one back and they just get a bunch of points and yards and shit. So for him to be on the Jets now, obviously last year I was all out on this guy. He actually did decent, better than I predicted. I thought he was going to do a lot worse. He actually did okay. But to take that risk again, I'm just not willing to do. I just think there's so many other running backs. But again, there's the slim pickings at the running back position, so I don't want to eat him up too much about this. He's going to get the ball. He can catch the ball. So, it might not be as bad as I think, but I would just stay away from it. His next pick, T.Y. Hilton. I'm always kind of afraid with T.Y. Hilton. I know he's had really good games in the past, and he's very talented, but you got Phillip Rivers, who doesn't really throw downfield too much. I mean, he does. He has been known in the past. And then T.Y. Hilton just he's always injured or he's not coming to practices. I don't really like him that much. But again, this is his third receiver. He's already got Davante Adams, Julio Jones. I probably would have went a different direction. I probably would have went running back here again and addressed those issues just because you don't know. What if Jonathan Taylor doesn't start week 1? You know what I mean? Then you're going to need somebody here. So I don't think I would have went with T.Y. Hilton, especially. I probably would have went with a different receiver. But we'll see. Again, Colts are a very good team. They're a very good team. They got a good offensive line, and I think Phillip Rivers still has a lot of juice left in him. So, hey, I don't know. So round 6, Russell Wilson. Obviously, he was one of the best QBs of last year. Surprise for everyone. with DK Metcalf getting more involved. Very solid QB, one of the best QBs in the league you can pick up. He got him pretty early here in the 6th round. I usually wait for my QBs, but hey, if you can lock down a good one like him, no problem. Again, I would probably address the running back situation here, but that's okay. His 7th round pick, another receiver. Another one. So he's got 4 receivers. Marvin Jones Jr. With the 2 flex positions, I think this is fine. Marvin Jones Jr. is very good. He almost got as many receptions as Kenny Golladay last year. The only difference is Kenny Golladay gets targeted a lot in the red zones. That's why he has so many touchdowns. I think Kenny Golladay had 13 touchdowns last season. There's no way he's getting that many. But maybe Marvin Jones can get some of those touchdowns this year. I think he is elite receiver, and especially at the round 7, very good. The only thing I'm worried about is Detroit drafted DeAndre Swift. Okay, and they also brought in Adrian Peterson, and they had Kerryon Johnson from last year. So I think they're going to be running the ball. I think that's their goal. They're going to try to start running the ball more. I think that's why they, put all this investment into their run game right now. So I don't know how much passing they're going to be doing. Obviously, they're going to be doing a lot of it. Marvin Jones will get points. I'm just saying I think they're going to move away from those just let Stafford air the ball out every single play to more of a slower run-heavy offense. That's just what I've seen. That's what I'm noticing here. Could be wrong. So finally, round 8, Tommy decides to address the running back situation with Matt Breida from Miami. Now, Matt Breida is very talented. I think this is a pretty decent pick here. I think he's going to be splitting carries with Jordan Howard, but hey, it's a running back, a very talented one, and I think Miami, I know last year they were a complete garbage. But this year, again, I think it's okay. I think Matt Breida will actually be decent. He's going to be a backup running back for Tommy, so I think that's okay. There's other rookies around here, J.K. Dobbins, Zach Moss, who he could have probably picked up that I think are going to have a more effective year. But who knows? He might if Matt Breida really takes the lead here and Jordan Howard just becomes a backup. Matt Breida is very viable running back at that point. Then he picks Tyler Higbee, the Rams tight end. I think this is good, especially with Brandon Cooks leaving. I think there's going to be more balls to be thrown. Tyler Higbee had a good year. I think Gerald Everett might be the number 1 tight end on this team as the season progresses. We'll see about that. Tommy, if you're listening, you might want to keep your eye on Gerald Everett if you are into this tight end Ram situation here, just in case he starts getting more balls thrown his way. The kicker, Justin Tucker on round 10. I just don't get this pick. Justin Tucker is a very good kicker. Baltimore's a very, very, very good offense and defense, very good team in general. It probably will be the highest scoring kicker, but a 10th round pick on a kicker, just not necessary. I'm sorry. Very dumb. He might not even be the highest scoring kicker. There's a lot of other kickers that probably will score equivalent or close to it. He'd have to have a pretty good season. And it's just so hard to tell with kickers. So wasting a 10th round pick, not my favorite. Duke Johnson. So he went with like a pass catching back, get a little points here and there. Not a bad play, actually, with the 11th round. As far as his running back situation is going, I think he might need something that might fill in from week to week. Again, I don't know when he's going to start Duke Johnson and why you would necessarily, but I guess if you really, really need to, he's there. His next pick, N'Keal Harry for New England. Now, I think this is great. I think N'Keal Harry's 6'4", and Cam Newton likes to throw to bigger backs. He has in the past. He always favors them. And this is N'Keal Harry's 3rd year with the offense, I want to say. So I think he's probably picking up speed. I think he's going to be one of the leading receivers, and this team is very likely he is. Of course, they still got Julian Edelman, but I think N'Keal Harry could be that big play guy. And with Cam Newton, I think it's very possible that he becomes a very important role on this team. Harry has an important role in this team. So, very good pick there. I actually really wanted this guy as well, so kudos to you, Tommy, for taking him. I probably would have took him the next round, honestly. Then he took the Chargers defense. The Chargers defense is very good. Go ahead and look them up. Look up their rosters. See how they grade. They are very, very, very good. Round 13, again, pretty early for a defense. my opinion. But if you're getting a really good one, I don't care. 13, like from this point on, I think there's the slim pickings with like all the players. So if you see a defense you want, I mean, you're going to be starting them for a while, especially if like a late bye week or something. I think the Chargers very, very good. That's one of them. I think going to be a top 5, top 10 defense. So I think locking that down is very smart. Then he goes with his backup QB. Now I don't really like backup QBs. I just don't. There's so many quarterbacks they can pick up on free agency. So I just don't get it unless you really, really like him. So he really likes Ben Roethlisberger, apparently, to back up Russell Wilson. So Russell Wilson, I don't think you're not going to start Russell Wilson, right? So unless he gets hurt or has COVID or something, you're not going to really use Ben, I don't think. But maybe Ben somehow starts balling out and he wants to put him in instead. That's a week-to-week decision. It seems rough. It seems going to be a hard one to get right week to week. I would just drop the QB, and if you need one, pick one up later. You can probably get Daniel Jones or, Kirk Cousins or, I don't know. There's probably a bunch of QBs, Drew Lock. There's probably a bunch on the waivers that you can pick up. And people are going to be dropping QBs like flies, I imagine. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I don't know. His next pick is a tight end. This is backup tight end, O.J. Howard from Tampa Bay. So Rob Gronkowski's going to be playing, but I imagine O.J. Howard is probably going to have a role here. He's pretty talented. He can catch the ball. Again, it's a backup tight end. You only start in one tight end. I don't really know why you need a backup unless he really thinks O.J. Howard's just going to go off. But again, you're only starting one. So drafting one in the 9th round is Tyler Higbee. You must not have any faith in that guy to draft another one, or I don't know. I guess you really, really like O.J. Howard. I think it's a good decision, but I just don't see it. I think there's a lot of other tight ends you can pick up that are probably just going to be just as good as O.J. Howard. And even if he does show up to be good, then you're getting rid of Tyler Higbee. You're going to maybe trade them. You're going to drop one of them. I don't know. And then Jamal Williams, a third-string running back for Green Bay. I think he's just a Green Bay fan, and that's why I picked him up. Because obviously A.J. Dillon is going to do the backup roles and kind of get most of the carries, maybe even the goal line carries. And then Nyheim Hines for Indianapolis, another running back. I think that's great. He's got Jonathan Taylor, so it's kind of like a little handcuff. He's more of a pass-catching back. He's not going to be running the ball too much. But I think it's fine just to have on this, because I think if you're all in on the Colts offense, I think it's a good pick to have. So where do I grade this team? I'm going to give it a B-. A B-. Just because, let's see, the weaknesses here, we got the running back situation. From week 1, I am worried about how many points your running backs are going to score. The tight end situation, I'm not too big of a fan of, but we'll see. Drafting a kicker so early, not very smart. You drafted an extra QB. It's kind of a waste. I like N'Keal Harry, and I like the Chargers defense. So we'll give it a B. I think we gave Team Beecher I think I gave it an A. I really like Beecher's team. He's got a lot going on. Otherwise, I'd say an A- for Team Beecher just because of too many receivers. But if the running backs pay off, I mean, I give Beecher's team an A. I stand by it. Beecher's team's an A. I think this team is very scary with Cam Newton, Carson Wentz, Latavius Murray, Sony Michel, Austin Hooper. I mean, then you got DeAndre Hopkins and Tyreek Hill. You still got elite running backs in Melvin Gordon, Raheem Mostert, and even backups like Julian Edelman, Terry McLaurin. I think this team has so much depth to it. I think it's just going to score a lot. So these two teams, I'm going to say Team Beecher takes the win here. Stay tuned for some more teams. I'm going to start going over some other teams. I would probably do a video like this. And then stay tuned for Fantasy Football Fridays, in which I recap the week of fantasy football, tell you the news, tell you some opinions, maybe bring up some interesting thoughts like, which receiver's better, Cooper Kupp or Robert Woods? We can go on an in-depth look. I'll take a look. I'll do some research and let you know my thoughts on it. But stay tuned for some more videos. Thanks again, and have a great day.